And we have a very special guest on next. Dan, you brought her into the show, so I'll let you introduce her.
Yeah, this is one of my special guests. Hey, Lori.
Hi.
Lori, I've known Lori for several years now, and I'll let Lori talk a little bit about her career evolution and where she's at today. But I am just excited to have a perspective that Lori has. Lori is the Louisville, or the president of the Louisville Chamber of Commerce. She's been there a couple of years now. I have a special connection there. I'm the most recent, this year, I'm the past chairman of that chamber. And then the last 2 years, I was the chairman of the board for that chamber. And so Lori and I have worked closely together. She is an incredible advocate for the business community. She told me, I won't reveal it here, Lori, but you told me how many years ago you started your own business. So you've been in all these various stages of business, and you really have a huge heart for entrepreneurs, business leaders, and just helping them and their businesses thrive. And so, especially nowadays with what's going on, I know that we need more people like you than ever before. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first of all, thanks for being here.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And why don't you give us a little bit about your career evolution, and then how you spend your days these days?
Okay. Well, when you get as old as I am, you've a lot of places you've been and things you've done. But like Andrea, I started a job as a part-time job in high school, really into college, at a finance company. So it threw me into commercial finance. Now, I'm a marketing major, and commercial finance probably isn't really where I belonged, but it did teach me so much about customer relationships and how to solve problems. So that was kind of my early career. When I came back local with my husband and I started a business locally, got involved in my local chamber of commerce, and eventually became a real estate agent. And I won't tell you too much. This is kind of a boring story, but when the local chamber of commerce executive left, they asked me to be the interim because they figured I was a real estate agent and had a lot of time on my hands probably. And so I started as an interim at a neighboring chamber. It turned into a 10-year career there. And I was so inspired by all the businesses and entrepreneurs, and I had a love for interior design. So I left after 10 years. I thought that's a great time to go do something different. And so I went and became an interior designer for several years. I did a lot of other things after that and ended up in economic development. And then this Chamber of Commerce executive job came up and again, and it was suggested to me that I apply for it. So I love chamber work. I love relationships. I love people, and I love businesses and helping them be successful. So this is my last job, but I love it.
Share with people kind of what does a Chamber of Commerce do? I want you to kind of explain what the chamber does for businesses, but then also if I'm not a business owner, if I'm a leader, is a Chamber of Commerce something that would help me, and how?
Oh, yes, for sure. So we work with businesses, small, medium, and large. So we have a lot of corporate members. We have a lot of one-man entrepreneurs. So it's the gamut. But we do a lot of advocacy, and we're that connector between our local government and policies and helpful information and resources that these businesses need, even the corporate types, because they're busy running organizations that are very large. So we can be that relationship builder for them. We also provide a ton of networking opportunities, so the small business and medium-sized businesses can come and get to know each other and really just support each other and talk about what they do. So I like to think we're the people who keep the economic structure of a community going and moving forward. We're the engine behind that.
I mean, I've seen that firsthand with with just this COVID situation, right? And in this tight-knit group of business leaders, they've been networking, they've been connected now for however long people are a part of chamber. And then when something like this happens, I'm kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, but share maybe some of the stories that you've heard or experiences that you had where people have helped each other. I mean, I've certainly seen it in that community, in those networking events. And I'll just share, when things kind of shut down, I noticed when a lot of companies were unsure of what to do or where to help out. The chamber was really there as a staple in the community to make sure that people stayed connected.
Right.
Yeah, we tried to make it our goal to be the place to go for resources and to help, to find help. So when we got word of a government grant, obviously everyone knew about the federal ones, but then our local county provided grants.
Right.
And so we helped people kind of walk through those processes and encouraged them to apply. We even kind of did some door-to-door. Hey, don't forget, this is here for you. So in these times of that are so stressful, we want to make sure everyone takes advantage of the resources that are there. They're free. So we want to make sure that nobody misses that. And the county government officials told us, we don't want this deadline to pass at noon on Wednesday and have someone call us at 4 o'clock and say, I had no idea this was happening. So that was our job. It was to make sure that we just blasted that everywhere. And we really helped. I like to think we helped people during this because we allowed them kind of access to our social media sites, and we just blessed what they're doing all over as much as we possibly could.
And I will say, by the way, I have some very good friends in Louisville, and they have actually on multiple occasions sung the praises of how well Louisville has handled all the stress that's been going on right now, of all the different issues. I mean, Louisville has really been a shining example in the DFW area, and I'm from the DFW area, and so I know it very, very well, and I've heard very positive, very, very positive things.
Thank you for saying that. Our city government has been very proactive as well, and had people actually making phone calls to residents and asking how they can help. So it's been a team effort for sure.
It has, and you've done a great job. So I'm sorry, Dan, you look like you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Lori's been connected to communities for, I would say most of her life in a very impactful way. You were talking earlier about being in a 10-year spot at a local chamber, and how have you seen business and the business landscape and business leaders change over the time that you've been connected with them, and where do you see leaders have evolved or need to evolve into? Do you have any thoughts or ideas on that?
Well, for one thing, life is so much more efficient now with technology. It just we work at a fast pace, and we thought we did before, but we didn't have any technology. Honestly, that's how long I've been in the workforce. But we had really no technology to speak of. So technology has made everyone so efficient that they can actually have time to expand their brain to see what it is they want to do. So, oh, great. I don't have to stand in front of a fax machine for 3 hours and send communications out. Maybe I could do something really innovative. So I really love that part. I love that we have the opportunity to be as innovative as possible. And we love to do that. I want to be on the cutting edge. I love to learn. So if anything's available that is new, Dan's always sending me these new technologies, tricks, and tips. And I love that because I love to pass those on to people and make better leaders because of that efficiency.
What does our business community, from your perspective, need, especially in this trying time right now? If you were, and you are, I shouldn't say if you were, you are a voice for the business community, and so having that voice, what are the needs that they have, that they're trying to get that word out, that they're trying to explain to people, that you could help echo those comments or those voices?
I think they need support. They really just need people to come back and support them. So I've sort of been standing at the door of my favorite retailer for 3 weeks. Hey, are you open yet? But honestly, that's what people need. They need people to be enthusiastic about their business and as enthusiastic as they are. I just listened to a therapist talk to us about kind of post-traumatic stress and through this whole process. And she said that these business owners a lot of them are experiencing a feeling that they've let down their family and their employees because they're responsible for all these people. So they've got this feeling that, hey, I've let everyone down. So I would what I love to tell people is, please just go back. Just go back and be a patron. Do all your favorite things you did before. Walk through the store. Tell them you're back and you're ready to, help them get back in business. It's been really, really hard to watch these people. I have a good friend who calls it mourning the loss of your business plan, because all blew into 2020 great guns, and ready to
vision, right? We all had these vision themes. 2020.
Vision 2020, right? And then all of a sudden it's gone. And the word pivoting has been overused probably, but they did. I've been so impressed with how they've been able to pivot, but some weren't given that choice. Some had complete shutdown, no choice.
Yes.
And so the best thing I can say is to be supportive and to go back and patronize these places and let them know. And then also to be patient with them, because there will be a lot of missteps along the way, as everyone reopens, a lot of missteps. And all learning.
Yes, and remember too, and on that same note, that was a perfect thing to say, because, and Dan and I have talked about the patience and the human understanding. Trevor and I talked about it yesterday. You have to have that right now, and understand, people, that some of the things that are going wrong in businesses, they have no control over. If their credit card machine is down, let me tell you, as somebody who works around merchant services a lot, that has nothing to do with them. They can't do anything about that. We had server issues yesterday on the show that created all kinds of hullabaloo. It happens. It's part of what's going on. Be patient with them. Be kind. Talk to them and go, and you know what? Tell them thank you. Hey, we're so glad that you made it, and welcome them back. We're so glad. Welcome back. Woo! You're here.
Right.
I high five. I mean, I guess I high elbowed. Actually, we did this. I high elbowed one of my favorite bartenders when I got to see her again. Hey, you're back. Woo! So celebrate with them. I think is really important.
This is something no one ever saw coming, and no one had any plan. Even if you planned for the rainiest day you could ever think of, you didn't plan for this.
No,
and because nobody's business model includes 2 solid months of zero income. So,
It's tough, and the smart ones planned. Didn't plan for it, but they were in the position just in case, and that's always the best thing to do. But I want to ask you too. I'm kind of interested to know, as these places are reopening, what are you seeing in terms of employment in the DFW area, and how it's adjusting accordingly?
So I thought a lot about this. I had people who hung on, for a few weeks, and their companies thought, okay, we can weather this storm, and then eventually they didn't. And I'm talking about companies with 800 employees and companies with 200 employees and companies with 3 employees. So I think what's happening is now everyone's reevaluating what they really need. So, you have a few businesses who their business really exploded during this time. They had to really ramp up and get employees and find people everywhere. But then you've got the others who said, okay, I laid off 95% of my workforce. How many of those do I need back? I have a few friends who are experiencing this, and their company is trying to decide, are we even going to be a company? And it was a big one. If I told you it was, you would be surprised. And she said, you know what? I've wanted a career change. I didn't like my job for a long time anyway. I knew I was restless. I was uneasy. So I think a lot of people are using this time to reevaluate and just say, this might be the time I get into an industry that I really am passionate about. Because life is too short to work somewhere you don't enjoy.
100%. And that's something we are preaching very heavily on this show is to go for the culture you want, the environment you want, go for happiness, and really stop and take stock of what you have to offer. Right. And even like with you, so it's so interesting. You have your business and then you go to the Chamber of Commerce, find ways to contribute, and give back. I always tell people that'll keep you sane better, more than anything else, is to give back.
That's so true.
It really is. So I was really excited to hear you say that. So Dan, you look like
I think that's a positive message.
Yes.
Employers were put in positions that they didn't expect, which put employees in positions they didn't expect. But I think the hope is that things come back. And it sounds like, Lori, based on your comments, I mean, the business leaders, the business owners are saying, obviously they want it to come back and they want to bring those employees back. Is that your feel that things will bounce back and kind of I mean, I think we all feel that, but you're so connected to the business community. What's your thoughts on just the timing of that and then the business leaders themselves? I mean, I'm sure they want to get back to where they were.
We're probably running a little faster than a lot of areas of the country. We're even in the Metroplex, because Dallas is pretty shut down, and we're outside of Dallas, so we're running a little faster. I've seen a few casualties. I've seen a few permanent closures that won't be back, but everybody else is really trying hard to ramp up quickly. So that's what I'm seeing, is that everyone's just anxious to get back to normal, and they're not using the phrase new normal. There's no new normal. They want to go back to
normal. Yeah.
Right.
Right. So I'm seeing a lot of that. And I really feel like once everyone's questioning summer, is are we going to do anything? But then I hear a lot of people making plans. So that's encouraging to me. And because when you're making plans, you're going somewhere, you're spending money, you're excited to be out of your house. I still see, hear and see both sides of it. I still have a lot of cautious friends, but I think we're all getting back fast because we've been closed up for so long.
Exactly. And thank you so much for coming on to talk to us today. It was wonderful to have you. And you've been an absolute joy. So thank you. Good best of luck to the city of Louisville, and connect to Lori. She's LinkedIn and all that as well. Yes. Find her on LinkedIn and reach out. So thank you so much. I'm very welcoming.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.